It was a South African rugby whitewash in the URC this week. All South African teams getting wins in the URC. Starting off with the Bulls, 40 points to 7 win over Cardiff at home. Really good win for them. Lions, 54 points to 17 win over Edinburgh. That is a very big statement win from the Lions. Stormers, 29 points to 21 over the Dragons. And Sharks, 45 points to 0 against Munster. Let's start off with the Bulls. Bulls with a really good win at home. They are looking like a very good team right now. They did lose a few weeks back to the Stormers, but the Stormers did play well that game. And to be honest, the Bulls maybe didn't pitch up the way that we know they can. I'm a neutral to this right now, but the Bulls really look good right now. And I do think the Bulls have the squad, they have the players that if they go into the playoffs, they can go deep into this tournament. I mean, it was really good to see Cameron Hanna come back from injury. And it was good to see guys like Kurtley Orense playing some really good rugby, taking on defenders, beating a few defenders. Good to see Chesil Joost on the other side as well. One of my favorite up-and-coming junior Springbok players. I do think he will be a cap Springbok this year. He's been absolutely phenomenal. And looking at the centres, Stedman Gans and Kanan Moody working out really well. You can see that Stedman Gans has that Blitzbok DNA in him where he's good all around the park, he's good defensively, he's good on the ground, he's good at getting up quick, he's good with his work rate as well. He's just one of those really fun players to watch. And my standout player for the Bulls, a guy that I think has to be on the Springboks radar this year, Embrose Papier. Can you imagine a Springbok team with Embrose Papier and Grant Williams in it? I mean, that 1-2 punch would be absolutely phenomenal. I'm pretty sure that Grant Williams would probably start, but Grant Williams is playing really well off the bench for the Springboks, making a combination with Marnie the Box. So, I mean, Embrose Papier, a very good player, knows how to play with Andre Pollard. Maybe giving him a go against Lex Sasha and Ngomezulu might not be a bad idea. I mean, that guy is just so dangerous. He's one of the fastest players in world rugby right now. And yes, he did have a few problems a few years ago with like consistency, his box kicks, and just his overall style of play not suiting international level. But right now, he's worked hard. He's bulked up. He's physical. He's playing really good rugby. He's a good playmaker. His box kicks has become really accurate and really consistent. So honestly, he is one of those players right now that I would love to see just go straight into the Springboks team and get a few caps. I think he's one of the guys that is probably good enough to go right into the team and play right away, but he's been absolutely outstanding. But this Bulls team has a lot of depth right now, and they are really looking to push for the top 4 spot come playoff time, because if they can get a home quarterfinal or maybe even a home semi-final, that would be huge for them. Moving on to the Lions. 54 points to 17 against Edinburgh. I mean, that is a huge win. But this Lions team right now is playing some of the best rugby I've ever seen from them. Isn't it crazy to think that this Lions team, 2017, 2018, was playing in the Super Rugby final with the likes of Kwagga Smith, Franco Mostert, Malcolm Marx, all these other guys that are now much more experienced Springbok players. To think where they've come to now, I kind of see a bit of a resemblance though. Guys really coming through the system. Not the most well-known guys, but really making a name for themselves. I mean, Asad Nathies Labakanye, Morne van der Berg playing phenomenal rugby, Hashim Pete, a young star, Batot Lekani, Ruan Venter playing in the lock position, and he played really well. That could really boost his chance for the Springboks as well, being that versatile, and he is one of my favorite players to watch in South Africa right now. Kelly Mpeku, another really good guy there. And in the centres, Henku van Wyk, a phenomenal player. I just think the Lions have a really good squad, and if you think they have the likes of Ethan Adams as well coming through the ranks, that's going to be a very exciting squad going forward. But the Lions have always been a squad with some really good youngsters. Then they end up losing them. They could just keep some of these young guys that are really performing right now, which I think they will. I think they've got a lot of loyal young guys there right now that want to go far with the Lions. Kewan Horn as well at fullback. How did I forget about that? What a phenomenal player. They're bringing in Bowen Venter next year. The Lions are really building something special, and I just think the patience, it maybe is starting to pay off. And I do think if the Lions as well, if they can get a home quarterfinal, I think they're pretty much guaranteed to win it, because playing in Johannesburg against the Lions is really tough. It's a very tough challenge. And the Lions winning the SA Shield will be big for some of these young guys pushing for a Springbok spot as well. I mean, they've got some really good youngsters, and the Lions are just very exciting to watch right now. Edinburgh, on the other hand, are in a bit of a crisis, but Lions just absolutely pulverized them this week. Moving on to the Sharks game. 45-0 for the Sharks. Luan Gillamie, I think that's how you say it. What a debut from him. He just looks a bit like a Pat Lambie player for me. He's gliding past players. He just looks so in control when he runs with the ball. He's a good player. I can see some of the ideas he has. He has that right kind of mindset for professional rugby. And to be honest, he is probably a guy that can play 9, 10 or 15 as well. So he's a really exciting guy. If you think of what JP Peterson has built at the Sharks now, Emil van Heerden has had a phenomenal season. Pepsi Buthelezi has really stood up. Nick Hatton's been good. Giannis Potgieter's been good. Matt Ramayo's been good. Keanu Everson is a young guy coming through as well. The Hendrickse brothers have been much better this year. In the centres, have got so much depth. Andre Esterhuizen has been the perfect guy to make captain for this team, and he is playing some of the best rugby of his life. Ethan Hooker didn't play this week due to personal reasons, but Ethan Hooker alongside Andre Esterhuizen is a really world-class centre combination. I'd like to see that more going forward, maybe even in the Springbok setup. But they've also got guys like Leroux Milan for depth as well, who really slotted in nicely with the absence of Ethan Hooker. Lorenzo Julius, another phenomenal player coming through. I do think he maybe needs to settle a bit and compose himself into that kind of club rugby scene. But maybe the future of the Sharks could be a Lorenzo Julius at 12, Ethan Hooker 13 kind of combination, and that would be very exciting. I did also say that I know Canan Moodie is playing 13 right now, but I do think for the Springboks long term, I'm talking post 2027, looking at 2031, 2034, because these guys are still very young. I mean, 23, 24 years old. I do think Canan Moodie is probably better suited to the wing with Ethan Hooker at number 13, but that's just my opinion right now, but it could change. But I think they are both going to be really good, successful 50 cap plus Springboks in the future. But the Sharks right now are building something very good. JP Peterson is really changed the culture there, changed the vibe, really got the players understanding the identity they want to play. And it just looks like the Sharks are all on the same page right now. Yes, they're not in the top 8. All the other teams are in the top 8, but I think the Sharks probably are my favorite in the URC to push into the top 8 and further, because they're looking really good right now. Moving on to the Stormers. 29 points to 21 against the Dragons. Not a good win for them. Sasha Ngomazulu with some really good individual moments. I mean, he stopped 2 tries as well, scoring 2 tries of his own. He is just a freak. But it just seems like the Stormers are playing such non-team based rugby. Like every single player is trying too much. They're trying to force things all the time. And it seems to be a problem when they play at home. I don't know if it's just me realizing this, but when the Stormers play in Cape Town, it's almost like they're just really trying to impress the crowd all the time, instead of just playing some of the fundamental styles of rugby that you see from them at the start of the year, playing away, getting those big wins at the start of the year away from home in both tournaments. It just seems like the Stormers right now are just trying too many things, trying things when they aren't even on. And I just think if they can settle a bit, really go into their older style of play where they kind of let the game develop, and then if things do open up, really rely on their superstar players and those superstar talents in the team to really use their athletic ability to just do some incredible damage. But it just seems like they're forcing things right now from all over the field. They seem frantic, and I just think it's time for them to really compose themselves, maybe just take a breath and play rugby the right way, because this Stormers team at their best is a phenomenal team. We say they've been really bad recently. They're still second on the log. So if they can just finally click right now and play like they did at the start of the year and just find their feet a bit, they are going to be a very dangerous team going forward. But all these South African teams, a really good weekend for the South African team. Some players really putting their hands up for a Springbok jersey or a Springbok squad selection. That's coming soon as well. That's not far away right now. I will be doing a few videos on that as well. So if you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. That's been my South African team review for round 13 of the URC. Really exciting times ahead. It's getting to the business end of the season. Must win games right now for the Bulls, the Lions, the Sharks, and the Stormers if they really want to maybe get a home final or a home semi-final. But really exciting times ahead. Some teams really putting up their hand. Some players playing to the best we've ever seen them play. It's exciting times in South African rugby right now. If you do enjoy the content, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.